Jesus, it would be alright if he'd change my name. I told Jesus it would be alright if he'd change my name. Jesus, it would be alright if he changed my name. Jesus told me I would have to live humble if he
Yeah. This is where I ended up, huh? I don't even want to be here. Not like this. Not for this. Not because I ran out of every other option. But that's what this is, right? Last stop, last ditch, last whatever this is supposed to be. I spent so long thinking I had control over everything. Every move, every play, every person. Like I was 10 steps ahead of everybody else. And the whole time I was just digging the hole deeper. There's always that one decision. The one moment where everything splits. Where every bad thing that follows can be traced right back to it. South Carolina. I shoulda went. I shoulda just went. Simple as that. Everything in me was telling me not to. Every instinct, every gut feeling, every voice in my head said, don't do it. And I listened. And look at where that got me. There was that night in South Carolina. Things got tense. Real tense. And I felt it. That same gut feeling, that same voice telling me, walk away, don't get involved, this ain't your moment. And I listened again. I keep wondering what happens if I didn't. If I just ignored it. If I stepped in. If I stayed. If I went when I was supposed to go in the first place. Maybe people don't get hurt. Maybe things don't fall apart. Maybe I don't lose everything. Funny thing is, they tell you to trust your instincts. That's what everybody says, right? Trust your gut. My gut ruined my life. I had everything. Or at least I thought I did. Power, control, a voice, people listening, people watching. And yeah, I ain't gonna lie about that part. That was the only time I ever felt alive. In front of a camera, under those lights, knowing somebody out there was paying attention, reacting, feeling something because of me. That was it. That was the only time it felt real. And now I'm standing in a church I don't even want to be in, talking to something that can't talk back, trying to figure out how it all went wrong when I already know the answer. I don't want forgiveness. I don't. Not anymore. That ain't for me. Never was. I think I just ran out of places to go. Ran out of people. Ran out of moves. Ran out of excuses. So I ended up here. Not because I believe this is gonna fix anything, but because there's nowhere else left. Maybe that's the joke, right? Maybe this is what it always comes down to. You burn everything else down and then you come crawling into a place like this, hoping there's still something left for you. There ain't. There never was. All right, come on, get it together. You've been through worse than this. You can bounce back. You always... Who am I kidding? That version of me? The one that bounces back, the one that figures it out? He's gone. I think maybe being alive somewhere else. That's what I need. 'Cause here, I've outlived whatever use I had. If I ever had any at all. That's it then. That's all it comes down to.
Is it? Really? That's all it comes down to?
You always do that.
Only when someone's talking like they don't expect to be answered.
How long you been standing there?
Long enough to hear you try to reduce everything you've been into something temporary, disposable.
You heard what you wanted to hear.
No, I heard exactly what you said. The part where you convinced yourself leaving is the only move left. And the part where you almost believed it.
Doesn't matter if I believe it. It's still true.
That's not how truth works. Truth doesn't need you to repeat it until it feels right.
You didn't come here for a philosophy lesson.
No, I came here because you're about to walk away from everything and call it clarity.
It is clarity.
It's conclusion. There's a difference. One leaves room to keep going, the other shuts the door and calls it done.
Okay, then fine. Call it whatever you want. I'm still leaving.
And in your mind, this is the version of events where things finally start getting better.
It's the version where I stop making them worse. For once, I'm not dragging everything down with me. For once, I'm stepping out before it all collapses again because I thought I could hold it together when I couldn't. You want to talk about patterns? I've lived them. Every decision I make, every direction I try to push things in, it circles back. Same result, different path, same ending. So yeah, I'm done pretending I'm not the reason that keeps happening.
You're not wrong about the pattern. You're wrong about what to do with it.
Yeah? Enlighten me.
You don't erase a pattern by removing yourself from it. You break it by changing how you move inside it.
That's a nice way to say keep trying until it fails again.
It's a real way to say you don't get to opt out just because it's uncomfortable now.
Uncomfortable? You think that's what this is?
I think it's easier to leave than it is to stay and deal with what comes after everything falls apart. And I think you know that.
No. Don't reduce this to me taking the easy way out.
I'm not reducing it. I'm naming it. You're calling it responsibility. Like you're doing everyone a favor by stepping away before you can do more damage.
I am.
No. You're deciding that your absence is less harmful than your presence without actually knowing if that's true.
I've seen enough to know it is.
You've seen enough to believe it is. You don't get to decide your value based on how things ended. Not when you were part of building what came before it.
I've run out of ways to do this right.
Then do it differently. Not somewhere else, not by disappearing. Here.
That version of me doesn't work.
You don't know that.
I do. Because if it did, I wouldn't be standing here with you having this conversation.
That's not proof. That's frustration.
You keep talking like staying fixes something.
I'm saying leaving doesn't fix it either. And it definitely doesn't leave things unchanged.
They'll manage.
They'll survive. That's not the same thing as being okay.
They're stronger than that.
Oh, please, this isn't about strength. It's about presence. What changes when you're gone, whether you want to admit it or not.
And you think I matter that much?
I think you don't get to decide that you don't.
Everything I was here. Everything I built. Everything I tried to hold together. It's done.
Or it's just not what it used to be, and you don't know how to exist in that version of it. I'm not saying you don't need change. You definitely do. You probably need distance, perspective, something that isn't tied to every mistake you're carrying. But don't twist that into thinking that your absence doesn't matter, because it does, whether you want it to or not.
I can't keep doing this the same way.
Then don't. But leaving isn't the only alternative.
It's the only one that makes sense right now.
It makes sense because it's clean, because it gives you an ending you can control. I'm not here to stop you. You're gonna do what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
But I am here to make sure you're honest about it. You keep talking about usefulness like that's all you ever were. Like your value was tied to what you could control, what you could maintain, what you could keep from falling apart. And now that it didn't hold, now that things didn't end the way you thought they would, you've decided that means you didn't matter the way you thought you did. That's not truth. That's you shrinking yourself down so it's easier to leave. Around here, you weren't disposable. You were part of the reason any of it worked in the first place. And if you walk away now, that doesn't erase that. It just means you're choosing not to deal with what comes after it. Because if that were true, you wouldn't be standing in a place like this trying to convince yourself of it. You'd already be gone.
Nah, that's not what this is. I know what I'm doing. I have to know what I'm doing. It's the only way this makes sense. It's gotta be.
You ever notice how quick people start celebrating when they think something's about to go their way? Like, nobody told them it's done. Nobody confirmed anything. But listen to that. Sounds like they already decided how this ends. I don't know if that's confidence or people getting ahead of themselves.
It's a mix of both. People feel a shift before they understand it. And once they feel it, they start acting like the outcome is already locked in. It's usually when things go wrong, because they stop paying attention to what still needs to be handled.
Yeah, and most of them in there probably couldn't even explain what's actually changing. They just know Amanda ain't as untouchable as she used to be, and that alone got them acting bold. Meanwhile, we out here actually thinking 3 steps ahead.
That's the difference. They're reacting to what they see. We're preparing for what's coming. And Amanda, she's not finished yet. So while they celebrate, I'm watching.
Still though, Lorelai throwing this whole thing, I can't even be mad at that. After everything she's been dealing with, she deserves a moment to just exist without all of that weight on her.
She does. What happened to her mother, that wasn't just crossing a line. That was deliberate.
Yeah, I keep thinking about that. Setting a house on fire knowing somebody's still inside, that's not anger. That's intention.
Exactly. Ramona Clay made a choice, and she understood what came with it. So when I respond, I'm not hesitating.
So, what's the play? Because I already know you're not just reacting to something like that. You've been thinking about this.
Of course I have. Situations like this don't exist in isolation. It's not just about her. It's about everything connected to her. That's where people slip up. They focus on the person and ignore the structure holding them up.
So you're not just aiming at Ramona.
No. I'm aiming at the foundation around her. And that's where my position comes in.
Your percentage.
Exactly. Deshaun gave me a percentage of my shares back. Not something symbolic, something real. Something that gives me a say in how things move, how decisions get made, how situations like this get handled.
And the story behind that? That stays between the 4 of us.
It does. Because that percentage isn't just power. It's leverage. It means I don't wait for things to happen. I make sure they do.
That kind of control, most people wouldn't even know how to use it right.
That's why most people don't have it.
So where does that leave everything else? The Hollow, the Lost Heaven, and all these different places moving at once. We stable everywhere?
Uh-huh. More than stable. Lost Heaven? That's all Bernadette Angelo. She's got influence out there that people don't question. And with Clifford backing that side too, that territory isn't slipping.
And here?
Mildred's handling the French ward. And when she puts something in place, it stays in place.
Okay, so between Bernadette, Clifford, Mildred, you really got everything covered.
I've got what matters covered.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Ben.
Yeah.
That one hit you.
Because I know he's better than that. And I know his intentions weren't wrong. But intentions don't erase consequences.
I mean, he stepped in for his people, though. You gotta give him credit for that.
And I respect that. But how you handle situations matters just as much as why you step into them. And that's why he's still learning.
So now he's gotta prove it.
Exactly. And there's no better way to do that then going through his father.
And if he wins,
Then he's ready.
and if he doesn't,
Then he learns what he's missing. Let them enjoy this while they can. Because once everything really starts moving, this isn't gonna feel like a celebration anymore.